Okay, so on your notes journal, you should have multiplying, dividing integers. This one I call rule 4, okay? Rule 4. Thank you for telling me. Ahí va. Okay, rule 4. Rule 4 is dealing with, I call this rule 4 the Dorito man. The Dorito man. Okay? And the main thing I want you to do is I want you to know that this is only, oye lo que te estoy diciendo, only for when you multiply or divide. Okay? Or divide. So what we do with the Dorito man, we basically draw a triangle that looks like a Dorito chip, like this. And we draw two negatives, and the little nose can be positive. And here's how it works. If I have -3 times -2, your first job is just to multiply. Job number 1, step 1, is just multiply. So what's 3 times 2? 6. That was your step 1, just multiply. Step 2, use Dorito man. How do we use Dorito man? Well, we have a negative, and we also have a, what is here? What is this? Negative. So we're not gonna do same. Don't be saying, oh, same, add and keep, because we're not adding, we're multiplying now. So we use Dorito man now. And how do I use Dorito man? Well, we have a negative, negative, so you're going to circle the two negatives. Since we have negative, negative, we circle them. What's not circled? The positive. So guess what? The answer stays +6. Questions? Let me do another one. -5. This time I'm going to use a new symbol for multiplication so you can learn that this little symbol, this big dot here in the middle, floating in the middle, means multiply, guys. We're not going to use that much the x anymore as the symbol for multiplication because we're going to start doing some algebra stuff in middle school. And we use the x to represent a number, a variable. So instead of an x, we prefer using a what? Dot. But right now I'm going to even show you another way. But I'm just trying to show you the different things. So what was step 1 first? Just multiply. So what's 5 times 4? 20. So this time I'm not writing down steps no more. I just want, because I want you to know. Now let's label what's this guy and this guy. Are you gonna be saying diff diff? No, because we're multiplying. What are you gonna draw quickly after you label? The Dorito guy. So we're gonna put the Dorito guy here. Vamos a hacer el Dorito Man. Y vas a checar que estás con un negativo y un qué? Positive. So guess what? I'm gonna circle a positive and negative. Which one is not circled? Negative. The answer is -20. Now some of you will say, what if I circle the other negative with positive? Doesn't matter. No, no importa si circulas estos dos o estos dos, va a salir todavía negativo. Uno no vas a circular. Questions? Let's do another one. Here's something else about multiply. So look, in elementary, this was a multiplication symbol. Yes, it's still a multiplication symbol, but we don't want to really use it because we get confused sometimes if it's the x for a variable or the x for multiply. So instead of using x's, we're gonna want to use what? Dots. But even better, a number next to parenthesis means multiply. Un número enseguida de paréntesis es multiplicar. Okay? So this means negative 10 times negative 3. Negative 10 times negative 3. So what's your first step? Just what? Multiply. So what's 10 times 3? 30. That's step 1. Step 2 is to what? Draw a Dorito man. There's my Dorito man. Now let's go label. Who's the 10? Who's the 3? Who do we circle? The two negatives, right? The answer is going to be positive 30. Now, the mistake that kids make every year is the following. So, this is what we should be doing. You should multiply like you always do, and then use Dorito Man. But now I'm going to go to the board and show you what kids do to me because you get confused. Okay? I don't think I'm going to have a chance for story time today. But if I have a chance, I'll do it. Okay. Listen. So just a review. Más rápido, un repaso rápido. The x is multiplied. You should know that since elementary. But instead of the x, estamos tratando de usar dots. Not a point, not like a decimal. A dot in the middle is multiplied. But even better, a number next to a parenthesis. Un número enseguida de paréntesis es multiplicar también. ¿Preguntas con eso? Now the errors that kids do to me. Red, we don't copy, right? So here's what kids do to me. They go negative 3 times negative 2, right? This might be in parentheses to show it's negative. And they'll do this to me. They'll put the 6, good job for that, but then they'll do this. Keep. They want to do things like saying, it's like the rule add and keep. But are we adding? No. So you're not supposed to go negative, negative. It stays negative because it's add and keep. I even see kids that write this. Espérate, esto es para add and subtract. This, we're what? Multiplying. Multiplying, we don't do same, we don't do div. We do Dorito man. You understand? So same and div is when you add and subtract. Dorito man, multiply or divide. Right now I'm going to do some division. Do you understand? Yeah. Because siempre me hacen estas cosas los niños a veces. Even worse, I've seen this. They do that to me also. What is that kid doing? What is this kid doing? Adding. Why are you adding if it's a multiplication problem? But because he does this, he puts same, add, and keep. That's it, because he has multiplied. This rule of same and div is not for multiply or divide. So I have to know same and div is for add and subtract. For multiply divide, el Dorito man. I have to know what strategy to use for what. Again, same and div is for add and subtract. For multiply or divide, you're gonna have to draw one of those questions. So I don't want to see you doing this, putting same when it's a multiplication problem. I don't want to see the word div when it's a multiplication problem or division. I mean division. Questions? Okay. Cancel. Okay. Cancel. Okay. One more. Okay. One more of these. Just to make a point about this last one. 2 times 3. What's 2 times 3? Do I need Dorito Man here? For what? They're what? Positive. I already told you when they're positive, you just answer it like you always do. So I better not see a Dorito Man here because what are you going to circle? Okay? Questions? Okay. In the back of this page, we're going to do division now. Negative 10 over 5. Now, some kids will say, that's division? Yes. What did I say that this bar means in math? Divide. Negative 10 divided by 5. Right? So, step 1 in division. No. Just divide. Like you always do. Bottom out. Basically, we're doing bottom out. That's why I said bottom out is going to be so important. So let me go bottom out. 10 divided by 5. Put your decimal at the end. And we start dividing. 1, is that enough? Is 1, is that enough? No. 10, is it enough? Yes. 5 times what gives me 10? 2. So negative 10 divided by 5 for sure is what? 2. That was step 1. Just divide, bottom out like you always do. What do you think step 2 would be? Dorito Man. Yes. So we're going to draw Dorito Man right here. Put the eyes in the nose. And check what you have. What do you have on the top? What do you have on the top? Negative. On the bottom. So who are you going to circle? So this time I'm going to circle this on purpose, this other two, so you can see it doesn't matter. What's the answer? Negative 2. Questions? Here comes the next one. Sometimes they'll give it to us like this. Doesn't matter. No. Now, I'm still worried about some of you still do not know who's who. Who will be the first one? The top or the bottom? Top. Who's the second one? Bottom. I need to know who's who. Because some of you get confused and then you put the numbers in the wrong place. Like this is something that I always get from kids. This is a wrong stuff. Red, no coffee, it's wrong. Kids will do this to me. They'll go, oh, negative 12 divided by negative 3. No, that's wrong. That what I just wrote means negative 3 divided by negative 12. That's why I need to know, esto está wrong. This is not that. That's why you have to make sure, Fernando, I hope you're listening, sir. We have to make sure that you know that this guy is actually the top, like what we have here on the top, the numerator. And this guy is the what? The bottom, the denominator. So like that, when I write them, I know who really is going to be outside. Bottom out. So who's the bottom? The first or the second? Negative 3. He goes outside. Negative 12 goes inside. You understand? I need to know that this is red, 12 divided by 3. And this guy, I'm going to put una flashlight aquí. To stress it in the video. That is red, 12 divided by 3. But kids want to write this like that. Left to right, they want to write it like that here too. But this is not red 12 divided by 3. This is red negative 3 divided by 12. So it's not the same thing. Él no es lo mismo que él. Este se lee negativo 12 dividido por negativo 3, y si tú lo escribes así, este se lee negativo 3 dividido por negativo 12, no se lee de izquierda a derecha, el de adentro se lee primero. So, él debe de verdad ser así. ¿Por qué? Porque el segundo es el bottom que va para afuera. No se te olvide que él de verdad es él. ¿A quién estamos dividiendo aquí? Who are you dividing right here? The 12. So when you put the 3 inside, now you're dividing who? 3. That's why you're wrong. So I need to know 12 divided by, I'm dividing by 12. Negative 12 divided by negative 3. I'm dividing the 12. So the 12 should be inside, because that's the one you're dividing. So if they give it to us like this, see, I feel comfortable. All of you are good with that one already. You know it's bottom out. But when they give it to us like that, some of you are still having trouble. And you do this to me, and this is what? Wrong. This is right. This means this. Questions? Okay? So please know that the first one is the top one, and the second one is the bottom. And you can think like a race, like track stars. If you're first place, would you be on the top? On the top of the podium when they put the medal, like in the Olympics? Yes. If you're second, are you gonna be at the top podium? No, you're gonna be on the bottom one, the next one. So top one is first, bottom is second. Okay? Because if we know that, then we know it's gonna be bottom out, which is gonna be this guy. Questions with that? Ahora sí uno va a hacer. Nomás que some of you still have trouble with that, so I said let me go over that again. So what does this really mean? Negative 12 divided by negative 3, so I'm going to go negative 12. Where would he go? Inside or outside? Inside. Because who's the bottom? The second one. El segundo es el bottom out. Él va para afuera. Así se debe escribir. Él es él. Now we're ready to go. 3 times what gives me 12? 4. So I know that the answer for sure is 4. But who do I need to now use to know if it's negative or positive? Dorito Man. Let's use Dorito Man. If you don't use Dorito Man, you're going to put it as positive. Or you're going to put it as negative, I'm sorry. Because you're going to go negative, negative, same, keep it. No, we use Dorito Man. Negative and negative, who do we circle? The both negatives. So the answer is going to stay what? Positive 4. Done. Questions? I'm going to do another one this way because I feel that this way is the one that we have the most trouble. So let's say you have 8 divided by negative 4. Who goes inside? 8 divided by who?
4.
Negative, not 4, negative 4. Now divide normally like you always do. Forget about the negative right now. 4 times what gives me 8? 2. So for sure the answer is what? 2. But to know if it's negative or positive, who's going to help you? The Dorito guy will tell you who to keep. We have a positive and a what? So who do I circle? Negative and positive. Does it matter which negative? No. Circle it. Whomever's not circled, that's who you keep. So who's not circled? So this answer would be negative 2. Questions? I think it's pretty easy. And let me do a positive just so you can see.
Did you keep any breakfast? I know sometimes you do.
Yes.
I knew it.
Right there.
Hi, Mom. Hello, guys. Mom. Yeah. Tutorial today. Yes. Hi, Manny. Why, Manny? Ay, porque el corazón. Okay.
ML. Okay, 10 divided by 2, right? Who goes inside? 10. 2 out. Divide like you always do. 2 times what gives me 10? 2 times what gives me 10? No, 2 times what gives me 10? 5. We're not multiplying those two, we're dividing. The answer is 5. Do I need a Dorito man here? Why? They're positive, it's just 5, you're done. That's it. Any questions on how to divide and multiply integers? When do I need a Dorito man? When you're multiplying and dividing and there's negatives. If you see a negative and you're multiplying and dividing, you better draw a Dorito man so you can know what to keep. Okay? So, no confundas the Dorito man rule 4 con estas de acá. Div is when we're adding or subtracting. Same, it's when we're adding or subtracting also. So do not confuse same and div with root 4. Now let's just put some notes here of the double negative. Okay? Let's put some notes of the double negatives just because I did not give you no notes. This is rule 3. I talked about it in the video, but I never gave you notes. So I'm going to just give it to you. Rule 3 is the double negative rule. And I'm going to make it real fast. Double negative is when you have a negative right next to each other like this. I talked about it, but I didn't give you notes. So I'm going to give them to you right now. Double negative is when you have two negatives next to each other like this. When you see a double negative next to each other, you're going to first, step 1, circle it. Step 2, rewrite it to what? ¿Qué se va a hacer double negative? A plus. So this becomes really plus 3. Questions? Now let me do some examples so you can have some examples. Negative 3 minus negative 4. So you're going to first circle it, right? Because you're like, oh, double negative. And what are you going to do? You're going to make it into what? A plus. Plus what in this case? 4. There, you fix this mess first. Now this guy will come down. And now we're ready to go. Now you can say, okay, I'm going to answer these two. What rule would this be? Dorito man? No, because we're adding now. It will be what? Diff. Which means to what? Subtract and keep the highest absolute value. So 4 minus 3 would be? 4 minus 3 would be? 1. And who wins? Positive. Questions? Questions?
No.
Okay, here comes one more example and then that's it for the double negative. 5 minus a negative 2. Okay, so what do you see again? A double what? Negative. So what does this become now? Plus 2. Bring down the 5. And now just answer. What's 5 plus 2? 7. Done. Why didn't I write a rule on this one? It was just positives, but you could have done the rule same if you wanted to. Questions? Now you have all your rules. Um, for homework for today, it's going to be number 1. So I'm going to write in your homework journal, you're going to be doing homework HW. Today's the 18th, 10, 18, 23. And we're doing multiplying and dividing integers. Okay? So on your homework journal, you'll have today's homework will be 10, 18, multiplying and dividing integers. Okay? I'm going to put a Dracula as your emoji for today so you can know which one is it. It'll be on YouTube too, the what I'm doing here, the video plus the homework. So if you do not have a YouTube, make sure you come back for the homework. So you're gonna be doing number 1 for homework, which is -4. Remember that this dot in math means times. -6 equal. Number 2, you're gonna do -18 divided by +3. You're going to be doing number 7. We're not going to do a mom. Let's just give you 5 problems. -2 times 4. And you're going to be doing number 12. 54. Fraction bar, we learned that in first 6 weeks that the fraction bar means divide. 54 divided by -6. And then the last one we're going to do for today's homework will be 14, which will be I'm gonna change 14 a little bit. I'm gonna put a -16 instead. -16 divided by -4. So number 14, I'm changing the 16 to a negative, just so you'll know for homework. So you have 5 questions for homework. Let me put them right now so you can see them on the video. You can pause it so you can know what's for homework. So you have -4 times -6, -18 divided by +3, -2 times +8, +54 divided by -6, and finally -16 divided by -4. The worksheet has 16 as positive. I have changed it on negative on purpose so we can practice having 2 negatives in a division situation. So this is for homework today. It will be on the YouTube video. Okay, so let me stop